Well, we're talking today about our new service that we're offering to churches called the Church Assistant. And the church office is offering the opportunity to do maybe 5 to 7 hours of administration as a service to bless churches. And I've got James Pinto, who's been kindly doing a pilot project with us, kind of testing out this Church Assistant program. James, fill us in a bit about yourself and the church and sort of, why you kind of went down this route of getting involved with the church office and the Church Assistant program.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I'm a vicar in Cossey, edge of Norwich. Been here for 3 years. We've done what we've called a church graft. So a bunch came with me from where I was curate, assistant pastor, into a little, small, struggling place, and looked to bring new life and grow the church and see disciples of Jesus made.
Yeah. And James and I have been doing some coaching. We've been doing some connecting together. And we've loved getting to know one another and, just hearing more about James's experience as a vicar. And you're running two parishes. You've got another member of staff, but you don't have any administrative support, other than maybe some volunteers in an ad hoc way. That has been a challenge, isn't it, in terms of for you ministering? You probably give a day a week into administrative functions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So in God's kindness, we've grown over the last 3 years. We've seen people come into faith. The church is a fair bit bigger than when I arrived 3 years ago. Yeah. And as you say, Gavin, I'd got to the point where I was giving easily a day a week to admin, and just a conviction from Acts 6 that my priority is ministry of the word and prayer,
Yeah.
and that was being penalized. So I reached out to Gavin. We did some coaching sessions that were super, super helpful. And then Gavin suggested this great pilot project with the church assistant that we're now 5, 6 weeks into,
Yeah.
and it's been a huge blessing. Huge blessing because I've linked up with someone called Jude, who's been a total joy to work with. But I've been able to do what biblically I'm convinced I'm called to be doing: ministry of the word and prayer, and others to do the work that I don't think is my primary role as the pastor of the church.
Yeah, that's great. And so, if you've not heard of the Church Assistant program before, basically, what we do is we provide some administrative support for, in James's case, 5 hours a week. We meet with you on a Monday, don't we, for half an hour. The church assistant then will go through the week and will deliver some of the administrative stuff, mainly related into kind of Sunday morning slides, newsletters, rotas, just communicating things out to the church. And then the idea of this program is really to try and we've take over the sort of administration for 5 hours for a 3 month period, and after that 3 month period, we're then looking to transfer that work back to the local church, believing that God has given gifts to that local church. And then rather than James training up people in the church, we want James to identify the people. We want him to seek out who might be good in this role, and then we're going to work with them to basically transfer the work back to you guys, so that can happen on an ongoing basis without us involved any longer. And that really sort of appealed to you, didn't that kind of premise of, it seems a bit mad at the time, thinking, right, is this idea going to work? But then I talked to you and you were like, oh my goodness, this could work really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it's a really brilliant idea. I guess we're now a medium-sized church, what we've grown to, but there's me, and we employ a children's and families ministers. Finances are quite tight. We can't at the moment employ someone 8 to 10 hours every week. This was a way of massively improving our administration and our systems and structures at a way lower cost. Because, as Gavin said, the beauty of it is it's looking at everything we're doing. Jude, who we've worked with, is picking everything up for 3 months. But then, not only picking up for 3 months, reviewing, shaping, improving, handing it back to people here so that we might carry on doing it, but way better than we were before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a really clever idea, and I think it's got loads of mileage for churches in similar positions to us who would love to employ someone long term,
Yeah.
wise, but can't yet. We're not in the financial position to do that.
Yeah, and it's great. And I know other churches are exploring the possibility of it and saying, we're not sure if we can commit to a full-time person. Adding that to the budget is quite costly at this point in their season of church. But actually being able to do something over a 3 month period that's affordable, that's a service that's going to really, bless them and empower the church to pick up and run administrative stuff in a much better way. is super exciting. And you've been blessed by just having 5 more hours. Just in our coaching sessions and spending time together, you're like, oh yeah, this has made a massive difference already.
100%, 100%. I've been able to move forward with things I hadn't before, like writing an overview for sermon series that I'd always wanted to do, but now got a bit more space to do it. And I think maybe one thing's worth mentioning, Kevin, um, it's worked really well that it's remote. So
Yeah,
we're in the east. Jude is in Newport, like we're a long
yeah,
way away. It has not been a problem at all that we just meet on Zoom because
yeah,
the resources, the things we're using, um, it doesn't need to be in person.
yeah.
So it is, we've not lost anything by Jude working remotely. It works just as well. We meet for half an hour on Zoom and it works a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no concerns with the remoteness.
Yeah, and you're sort of downloading the things that you need doing, and then if Jude needs to clarify stuff, she'll get in touch. But most of the time, she's just getting on with what you need. And yeah, mate, it's been, you guys have been a joy to work with. I know Jude has done a fantastic job, and for us as church office, it's finding really gifted people in a whole bunch of churches who are saying, yeah, I'd love to serve other churches, got a real heart to do this. And yeah, we found some of the best people. And so if this is a service that you as a local church, or you as a pastor or a vicar are thinking, gosh, I need some support in administration, you can't see a way ahead, then maybe this is actually an option for you to consider as a way ahead to be able to, for us to take on your work for 3 months and then look to transfer that back to you and support you in training and ongoing stuff like that. Yeah, we want to bless the church, and we see this as a way to be able to do that. And I really appreciate James and the PCC and those there in the church who've gone, yeah, we'll give this a try and be the first ones to pilot it, mate. So thanks for doing it with us.
Gavin, thank you. Maybe I'll just say one more thing, Gavin. I reached out to Gavin in the summer. I'd kind of reached crisis point because we'd grown and I was totally swamped. So I was at crisis point. Maybe you're reaching that point yourself, or at it, or been it for some point in time. Stat I think you said to me, Gavin, was average vicars are spending 40 to 50% of their time on admin. That's bonkers. I wasn't there, but I was going that direction. This I think could be a great way to help you if you're feeling just how do I move forward? It has massively blessed me doing this.
That's great. Well, if you'd like to find out more, please get in touch at info@thechurchoffice.co.uk, and we would love to chat to you and talk about whether we might be able to serve and bless your church. So thanks for listening.